Okay, so my name's Justin Israelson. I'm one of the partners at Threes Brewing.
Hey there, Amanda here, and welcome to episode 92 of Great Beer Adventure. Before we jump back up the East Coast to New York, let's stop and think, how amazing was Marty's info on last week's show? I seriously have to listen into that show at least monthly. If you haven't listened to our convo, which was recorded down in sunny Orlando, be sure to not miss it. Anyone who wants to learn more about beer and social media should give it a listen. How many times have I said listen already? Like 700? I think it just means you should go and listen to episode 91. Anywho, for now, let's check out Threes Brewing out of Brooklyn, New York. Let's start, like always, with their origin story.
The brewery was actually developed by the three of us, Greg, Josh, and myself. I have been in the bar business for about 8 years and started a homebrew competition that Greg actually won the first year. And he went out at the same time to work at Greenport Harbor Brewing Company. And he brewed with them for about 5 or 6 years. And Josh and I met through mutual friends, and we were talking. We both had the same vision and decided to partner up. And we called Greg to see if he would consult and help us. And Greg ended up joining us full time and became three of us just opening this up. Yeah, so we had lots of names floating around, but it just turned out the address was the easiest name. So we just went with that for the time being, which was kind of fun. We thought we'd have like funner names on our beers versus just the name of the brewery. We are actually looking to expand right now out to Long Island, where Greg is from, an area called like Mattituck. Or it's actually, I think, yeah, the brewery will be in Mattituck. We don't know what the address is yet, but we'll see. Exactly. We'll change the address there.
Let's learn a little more about their beers.
Yeah, I mean, we, as you can like see on the board over there, we brew a little bit of everything. We are huge fans of lagers, so we brew a lot of lagers. We love saisons, we brew saisons. We love IPAs, we brew IPAs. And other than that, like we kind of like fill in a lot of our like gaps with just like friends beers. And it's not that we don't like to make those beers. It's just like sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Josh and Greg primarily come up with most of our names. And it's also just like a brainstorm throughout the day, like amongst pretty much everyone that works here. People will toss the names, but with the IPAs, we kind of just joke around like with like what's going on with the current trends in beer, that like just everyone is really focused on like loving IPAs, and we think that there's more to beer than just an IPA, even though we also love IPAs. So we just kind of joke with those names and like just kind of like poke fun at like whatever the idea.
Where can we find these beers?
Our distribution right now, we are like self-distributed. Most of the beer that we make, we actually sell here at the brew pub. We are growing slowly, and like we are slowly starting to put beer out into the market, and we're kind of just figuring out how to do that right now. Yeah, well, so there's two different licenses that we currently have here. We have a liquor license, which allows us to actually sell beer, wine, liquor over counter, as well as growlers to go. And then because of our microbrewer's license, you can actually sell package to go too. So we kind of have like both these licenses that allow us to do everything. We figured out how to do it. I'm not sure like if every location can do it, but New York City like legislation, like rules are a little tough. But we found some good people that helped us navigate.
Last question for Justin. What is your first beer memory?
My first beer memory is probably when I was like 13 at like a wedding or something like that, and I was drinking like Budweisers that my cousins were sneaking to me. That was probably my first beer memory. I hope my nephews don't do that. Or my kids.
Thank you so much to Justin for sitting down with me and telling me all about Threes Brewing. You can find links to them in our show notes over at greatbeeradventure.com/podcast. I'll see you next week to look at the power of beer to bring people together. Until then, get out there and try something new. Chat soon, friends. if you all, our fabulous co-adventurers, would like to support the show, check out our Patreon page. For less than the cost of a beer, you can show us some love. Go to greatbeeradventure.com/support. If you want to see even more from our adventures, follow us on Instagram @GreatBeerAdventure. And be sure to subscribe to the show. That way, you won't miss a thing. Great Beer Adventure is part of the Great Pint Society. Cheers.